Okay guys, today I'm going to show you the simple 60-second tarp pitch. It's going to keep you out of the elements and also not weigh down your bag. Stick around. Okay, the first component of this complete sheltering system is going to be the Aquaquest guide tarp. This is their lighter version, and this is in a 10x10. Also inside here are 3 or 4 tent stakes, and there's a ridge line in there that we're not actually going to use for this setup. Second item I've got a sheet about 7 foot long of polycro for my ground cloth. And the third item on our list is just a pair of simple trekking poles, and now all we need is a tree. Okay, so the first thing we're doing is we're going to go through and pull our tarp out, and I only have 3 stakes. So the first thing I'm going to do though is tie off my tarp to the tree. How high up you're going to tie it is really going to depend on the weather and what you're shooting for. Colder months I might pitch it a little bit lower. Warmer months I might pitch it a little bit higher. On all of my tarps I go through and I leave just a couple foot of cordage on there to make this shelter setup a little easier. It really doesn't matter how you tie this off. You just need to be sure it's secured. I usually leave one loop at the end of my cordage, really close to the actual tarp, and then I usually just use a little slippery half hitch in here, sort of like a modified trucker's hitch. So next, the most important thing is now I'm going to go completely to the opposite diagonal end of the tarp. So now that I've got my diagonal in, pulling it out tight. Down to the ground, staking it out. That tree, opposite diagonal corner. Now I can pull my 2 wings out and stake those down. So they've got one down. Let's go grab the other. Work our way around here. Making sure to pull it out nice and snug on all directions. So you guys can see now what we have is what is right now a pretty typical Plow Point shelter. Now that we're inside our shelter here, I'm going to take out my polycro. Stuff's a bit noisy. So now I've got the poly here. There's plenty of room in here for me to actually put my pad down and my sleeping bag on top of it. But you can notice this is pretty close to the top of my head. Now granted I could pitch it a little further out, but got my little handy dandy trekking poles here that I'm always out with. I'll lift these up. Stick that one in the ground. Here, just move that up to same elevation. So now that I have both of these kicked up, you guys can see I have a ton of headroom in here now. Nice elevated, opened up nicely, have plenty of room to sit up here and cook. In the mornings, still under the cover of the canopy. No chance of getting wet inside of here. Considerably less claustrophobic. And I'm using things that I already had with me, so. Okay guys, hopefully you found that beneficial. As you can see, it's super easy to put up. It does a great job of shielding you from the elements, and that's really the reason this has turned into my go-to shelter configuration for cold weather camping. I use it pretty much anytime I'm out on the trail. And if you're out on the trail right now watching this, as always, just remember, left foot, right foot, repeat. We'll see you out there soon.